Welcome to the GardeningDad.com's gardening school. Today, it's hot, it's humid, and it rained a lot, which means only one thing. Blood-sucking mosquitoes are coming for me, and I am not having it. In today's course, I'm going to teach you about 15 useful plants that you can use to repel mosquitoes no matter where you live. No matter where you live, we all have a mosquito problem, and there's nothing worse than having them ruin your gardening or your summer while you're just trying to relax and have a great time. So in this course, I'm going to talk about simple, easy ways to prevent mosquitoes, the most useful plants to repel them, and some common mistakes gardeners make when trying to repel mosquitoes. So let's begin. There are numerous ways to prevent mosquitoes from attacking you and being in your yard. While all these aren't guaranteed, they will minimize the amount of mosquitoes that you could get in your garden or in your yard at any point. The easiest way to do this to prevent any type of mosquito is keeping grass and brush as short and low as possible. That is the easiest way to help prevent mosquitoes and other pests from taking over your yard. So make sure you're mowing your lawn on a weekly, weekly, every so often basis. Make sure if you have any brush that you don't need, you're getting rid of it. And in the garden, keep those weeds out. Keep all of the extra stuff in there at a minimal. Number 2. Any type of standing water will attract mosquitoes. So make sure if you have standing water, you eliminate it. I've got a couple bird bass, I have a couple bee bass. If I notice it's going to rain and then be hot and humid, I'll try to keep that at a minimal. Even though I love the birds, I love the bees, I do not want those mosquitoes coming. So make sure you're keeping water in your yard at a minimal, especially that standing water. Easy way to help maybe not prevent it, but minimize mosquito attacks or bites is wearing long sleeve shirts, long sleeve pants, and a hat. May not always be ideal. If it's 100 degrees, you're probably gonna sit there and go, yeah, I don't think I wanna wear long sleeves, right? But if you have the opportunity, go ahead, wear those long sleeve shirts, pants, hat. In addition, if you're working in your yard or working in your garden, work in the middle of the day. Again, I know it's not ideal, but in the morning, in the evening, mosquitoes will come out and they will bite you and really kind of attack you, and if you got any animals around there. So make sure, again, long sleeves, working in the middle of the day. Not only that, but make sure you're not drinking alcohol. I love alcohol as much as the next person. But if I know I'm going to be in the yard, that will attract them to you. So keep that at a minimal also. And then in addition to that, if you're like me, you got hummingbird nectar, or you might have some sort of bird nectar. Keep that away from where you're going to be. Mosquitoes are attracted to it. So if you have a nice patio you're sitting on, or you're in your garden, make sure that the nectar is away from where you're going to be or where you're going to be working. And then finally, don't use those bug zappers, those mosquito zappers. While they will get rid of some, other mosquitoes will escape, and there's been some studies that show that it actually attracts mosquitoes more than it gets rid of them. So those are just a few of the ways that you can actually prevent mosquitoes in your yard. Very simply, again, we're going to want to keep that grass and brush short. We want to make sure there's no standing water. We want to make sure you're wearing long sleeves and working in the middle of the day. Keep that alcohol minimal if you're going to be out. Not only that, make sure if you have hummingbird nectar, keeping it away from where you're going to be, and then keep those bug zappers away from you too. Those are all ways to help prevent mosquitoes. Now let's talk around what are the most useful plants that you can put in your yard, in your garden, that's going to help prevent mosquitoes or repel them and have some multiple uses to it. So the first one I always like to talk about, it's a no-brainer, it's citronella, right? Citronella is the most well-known plant to help repel and prevent mosquitoes from attacking you. Not only that, as you know, you can use citronella for numerous things like candles, and other uses around your yard. So if you want the best plant that also has some uses, go with citronella. The second plant that I always like to talk about is lemon balm. Lemon balm is another great plant that can help repel mosquitoes, and it's great for attracting pollinators. Highly recommended if you want to attract butterflies, if you want to attract bees, plant that lemon balm and it will keep the mosquitoes away from you. Third, your cats are going to love it, catnip. Catnip is another effective way to prevent and repel mosquitoes in your yard, and you can always use that catnip for some homemade recipes for your cat. They will love that, along with some other uses. Marigold, so around here in the Midwest, marigold is great. You can plant it, it's got numerous uses, but I like to put it in my yard right around my garden to help attract, again, different types of pollinators. So a great way to attract pollinators. And then if you're looking for some herbs, my favorite, basil. So I've got some basil behind me. Basil is a great herb to plant to repel mosquitoes. I use it for pesto. Obviously there's numerous uses for it. And don't forget about lavender. Lavender is another great herb that has numerous uses, especially medicinal, but it's a great way to also make sure you're repelling those mosquitoes. I use lavender in my yard for the bees. I've got a couple beehives and really just enjoy them a lot. So lavender is another great one. And don't forget peppermint. Peppermint is another option. Peppermint or any type of mint, great way to repel mosquitoes. They actually hate it, they despise it, and numerous options that you can use. You can use it to make mint julep, but again, make sure you're not drinking that and then go sitting outside to get attacked by mosquitoes. So peppermint's another great option. If you're a garlic fan, I know it's one of the most popular plants out there. If you're a garlic fan, another great option. Plant that garlic. It is known to repel mosquitoes and sometimes loved ones. So another great option to plant out there. And then again, keeping with the herbs, rosemary. Rosemary, another great option. You can use that rosemary to sprinkle on some fries or as a seasoning, but it's a great way to repel mosquitoes. And then in addition to that, geraniums and bee balm, again, another couple options that you can use that are going to attract pollinators. I've got some right over there. You can't see it, but in my what I call my pollinator garden, I always have bees and sometimes butterflies visiting it. Great option around that piece. Same with those geraniums. And then finally, the last three, floss flower, sage, lemongrass, all have different uses. Again, I love sage, cooking with it, and same with lemongrass, you know, in certain dishes. But three great options to repel mosquitoes, and just again, numerous uses. So about 15 plants there. A quick rundown of them again. You've got your citronella, you've got your lemon balm, you've got your catnip, marigold, basil, lavender, I would say peppermint, any type of mint. Same with your garlic, your rosemary, geraniums, bee balm. I go with floss flower and sage and lemongrass. Those are your best options to help prevent and repel mosquitoes and have numerous uses, right? I love them for that. Now let's talk really quickly about common mistakes that gardeners make when trying to repel mosquitoes. The biggest one, like I said, is using a bug zapper. Using a bug zapper has been shown that it most likely is not going to prevent or repel those mosquitoes. More get through and will attack you than actually work on that. Another one is planting the wrong plants, right? Putting the wrong plants in your garden, putting the wrong plants in your yard will not deter them. If you say, hey, I want to plant some tomatoes, probably not the best option, right? So again, when I'm looking at it, make sure you have the right plants. That's a common mistake. Another big one is just working in the wrong time of the day in your yard or garden. That's a big mistake. Again, probably not going to go in the middle of the yard and work, you know, around noon if it's 100 degrees. But if it's a nice cool fall day, of course I am. So those are just a couple of the common mistakes people make when trying to prevent mosquitoes. Would love to hear any tips that you have. So please subscribe, like, feel free to comment and share. And don't forget, check out thegardeningdad.com. I have an article out there, 15 natural repellents against mosquitoes. You will love it, a lot of what we talked about today. So again, appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this course. And until next time, happy gardening.